Justin, you think he should drop Marvin Jones?
Defund Marvin Jones. He's stealing from the league at this point. Don't make no sense.
We're going to provide you, since we know what we're talking about, with some insight about every matchup that's going on in Week 7. Angles.
Bro, first matchup should be the Eagles versus the Giants on Thursday.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Week 8 in the Indecision Cave. I'm your host, Ryan Grace, and I'm joined by my three teammates, Commissioner Ashton Jones, the all-time winner in regular season victories, Justin Coleman. And ladies and gentlemen, this big smile is on my face because Trader Joe is eliminated from playoff contention 8 weeks into the season. Joe, how are you today, man?
I'm actually doing a lot better to know that it's officially done. You know, sometimes it weighs on you to have hope and believe. You know, that takes a lot out of your emotions. But now that I know it's over, I can look to the future. I can actually enjoy some football.
There you go. We like to hear that. As everybody knows, in our early week episodes, we typically go through our matchups, and then we hit you with the waiver wire picks, who you should be looking at to help your team get a little bit better. And so we'll keep the theme as we always do, and we'll start with my matchup first because, fellas, the New Bedford Whalers are here, and what a big statement in Week 7 as we destroyed Mo. Ashton's favorite fantasy person, Mo Huggins, been on the show before. I put up 192 fantasy points. He put up 129.8, which was a great showing. Would have beat a few teams in the league, but just no match for the Whalers. And, I was led by Tom Brady. He put up 36.86 points. And then, like I said last week, the defense to have was the Kansas City Chiefs. On the road against the Denver Broncos, put up 21 points. And so, the rest of the squad filled out. Gurley had that touchdown at the end of the game where maybe he shouldn't have even scored, but we'll take those 6 points every time and just put a whooping on him. So I'm very proud of my team, hoping that we can carry it on over into Week 8, 4-3 in the playoffs. This is the latest it's been in the season that I've been in the playoff contention in like 3 seasons. So I'm pumped. Ashton, we're looking at you next, man. How'd you fare in Week 7, man?
Yeah, I'm looking like Bill Belichick right now, and I'm on a 3-game losing streak, and the squad ain't really doing too well. Jared McKinnon, man, he destroyed me this week by only giving me, not even giving me, but taking away 0.1 points from my team. And so the man give it, but he definitely took it this time. Outside of that though, just tough sledding, man. Tough sledding. T. Higgins did his thing like he does every week. But outside of that, man, and my opponent scored 148, so I wasn't looking too good going into this week anyways without having Dalvin and Adam Thielen. So we're looking to have a comeback week this week against the Raging Joes.
So you're 3-4, but you pretty much get your 2 best players back, and you face Joe. That should be a layup.
Hopefully we'll be 3-4. I'll hopefully be 3-4. I'm 2-4 at the moment.
No, I think we've played 7 games. It's Week 8.
What am I then? I'm 2-5.
I think you're 3-4.
2-5. Just look, 2-5.
Okay.
So trying to get 3-5. So
what's kind of the plan to turn that around? Obviously get Dalvin Cook back, Thielen off the bye. What do we do?
No, we back at. We played Joe this week. He doesn't have anybody on his roster, so unless someone that's supposed to not do well just has a game of their life, which has been happening to me because Tyler Lockett balled out with me this past week, couple of weeks before. That's when Aaron Jones had his ball out performance. So unless the fantasy gods are still raining on my parade of making the playoffs, I should be good. I traded for Antonio Gibson today. I traded for Noah Fant last week. So just 2 positions where I didn't really have too much consistency because Zach Ertz is on IR. I was able to bolster up on. So hopefully Noah Fant could do well, a little bit better than he did last week. And then Gibson's on a bye week, but hopefully coming back, he should be able to provide a little bit more consistency to my RB2 slot versus Melvin Gordon, who would be sharing the backfield with Phillip Lindsay. And as you saw the past 2 weeks, Phillip Lindsay looks explosive. So that kind of scared me a little bit. Phillip Lindsay concussion protocol, so Melvin Gordon might be able to have a hold on the backfield for this week, but for going further in the season, I didn't know what to expect. So I shipped him and Tua Tagovailoa off to the Auntie Anthony's for Antonio Gibson. So
it's a pretty good trade for both teams. Justin, before we get to how the matchup getting to how the matchup ended, you were victorious, man. And congratulations on being the first player in the Indecision Cave history to amass 40 career regular season wins. Let's give it up for our guy, Justin.
Respect for you.
So Justin, how'd you do it, man? What was the strategy and how'd you come out with the victory?
I mean, it was just, my players doing their numbers. So basically this week I was glad to find out that my franchise quarterback didn't have to produce for me to get a win. So that was cool. Patrick Mahomes struggled. Outside of that, my trade so far has been doing me well. James Robinson put up 30. My A.J. Brown, I was glad I stuck with him. He put up another, 20, 24. I picked up the Bears defense just to, get me through the week. So, yeah, my players did their numbers this week. So it was a cool warm-up going forward.
There you go. And on the opposite side of his 40th career regular season victory was Trader Joe. So, Joe, what happened, man? You had a nice strategy going into the game, and did it all fall apart? What's up?
I got a quick follow-up question for Justin. He put in one of our chats that he had a psychological advantage this week that helped him win. I wonder if he would comment on that.
I mean, I didn't set my lineup until officially Sunday morning.
Okay, I knew it. Okay.
So, I don't know if you were trying to see where I was going throughout the week, but.
Well, I knew you weren't going to be benching Kamara. But also I had an idea that you'd be doing that on purpose. But either way, the results are the results. But Ryan, I thought I had a good chance of winning. I did like my lineup. But as I was mentioning at the beginning of the show, so I'm 1-6 now, thanks to this recent L. So, before this loss, I had an idea. I was calculating. I was like, okay, if I win, 7 games and only lose 2, I probably still can make a playoff. So I was doing a lot of calculation. So I'm not one to, right now, Mo was 4-2, and he's thinking about blowing that all up. And for me, there's no way I would even consider that, no matter how many people got on IR. I would be trying to flip people. So I was sitting at 1-5 and still believing and not, trying to delay the inevitable. Even now, according to Fantasy Pros, I guess this is a free shout out to them. If you go to my playbook, you can sync your ESPN rosters to their app, and they'll give you a statistics on your standing in the league, which is mine, is 12th, dead last, and the playoff odds, which last week when I was 1-5, I had a 12% chance of making the playoffs. With this recent now, I have a 3% chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? No. So to a little bit more context of why Ace might have said that, Ryan said it might be a layup for Ace against me this week, is because I traded two good players on my team for the future. And I think I should be able to provide a graphic of what that is. So I traded Allen Robinson for what was the trade? Allen Robinson,
Dallas Goedert.
Yes, for Dallas Goedert. So a lot of people was like, why in the heck would you do that? So 2 things. One, to start off, people were saying that I could have got more. Everyone always says that. I talk to the people who come to me. If you come to me, you say you want to trade, we'll talk. Everyone else that said you could have gotten more, my question is, where were you in trying to, offer something for the same player? So I put out in the chat a number of times that, the Trader Joe's, our players are available because we're essentially looking to the future. So Dallas Goedert in our league went in the 13th round. So that means, or the 14th round, whatever. I either keep him for a 13th or a 12th round pick next year. And I think he's a top 8 tight end starting next year. And I think his future is bright once Kittle and Kelsey start showing their age in a year or two. I think he has a chance to be, maybe top 3. That's the potential I see him. As reaching a little bit, but that's just where I see him. And Allen Robinson, literally no one can keep him. I traded him to Eugene, another user. And I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant, but obviously.
No, this is good. Because people were definitely questioning your moves.
Yeah. Why? Yes. So Allen Robinson costs Delhi a 3rd round pick. So in our league, if you want to keep a player, it'll cost you an additional round the next year. So he literally can't be kept next year. So I traded him to a team who's trying to contend this year, and next year I'm looking to the future. I also traded David Montgomery to Delhi to flip a 6th round pick for his 3rd round pick next year. So for those who are in the Indecision Cave, I still have other players that are available. I have a couple talks still ongoing right now, but we are open for business. But thanks to Ryan's idea of keeping track of our records from the time we joined our league, I don't want to completely blow my roster and then it's a guaranteed win against me. It's most likely that you'll win against me, but I still want to have some fighting hope because our records are recorded in this league, and I don't want to be last place, which is still possible, but I still want to play with some pride.
Yeah, and just to tack onto that storyline, Joe, you're 2 wins away from 35 regular season wins, which is the illustrious fraternity in our group. As we know, Justin has 40 wins, and then our friend John Bellamy and Ashton are the only 2 other people with at least 35 wins. So you're knocking on the doors of history. But similarly, at 26 losses, Joe, you're 4 losses away from the 30 loss club, which is somewhere that you don't want to be. I mean, a lot of teams are like knocking on that door, so to speak, but it's definitely not somewhere that you want to be. That's where I am. So you definitely don't want to join that kind of club. So hopefully your team keeps fighting through the end of the season and you can hang out with Ashton, Justin, and John as one of the better winners in league history. You good, Joe?
Over, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We got room for you.
Is this like the Super Bowl hangover? Like you see the trophy in his back.
Yeah, look, man. Look, I'm the defending champ until a new one is crowned, so I'm going to hold on to it.
You're darn tooting.
You're literally just holding on to it till the last game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hit you with some waiver wire picks to help you get ready for Week 8 within the Indecision Cave. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indecision Cave. We're in the middle of Week 8. Joe, we're going to start with you. You're going to hit us with your waiver wire pick, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of what you're trying to do. Last segment, you told us you're kind of in wholesale mode, not tank mode, but wholesale mode. Yet, are you going to be making moves to try to better your team, or what should we be expecting from your squad this week?
Absolutely. I think I have like 5 or 6 waiver wires lined up. So I'm going to be scratching and crawling to a win, whatever it takes. I know I'm looking to the future, but, I'm still a fighter in some type of capacity. So my pick this week is Jalen Reagor. He's the 1st round draft pick for the Eagles. Typically, they say out of sight, out of mind. He only played 2 games and he scored 6.5 points in the first game, 8.1 points second game. But still, this is a rookie, in a COVID-19 summer. So I believe in the talent. He's a speed demon. I think he will emerge to Carson Wentz's 1st or 2nd option. And he may or may not play this week, but even still, I would stash him before it's too late. Jalen Reagor. Right now in ESPN leagues, he is 11% owned. So look out for him.
There you go. I'm gonna go next. And I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks running back Carlos Hyde this week. You know, he couldn't stay in hiding for too long. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I laughed when I was thinking of that before the show. So in week 7, when Chris Carson went down, 18 touches for 76 yards and a score. We don't know how severe Carson's injury is going to be, like if he's going to end up playing or not. But if he misses any time, then Carlos Hyde is obviously someone that you can plug in right away. Seattle just uses all of their weapons. He'll catch the ball out of the backfield. And he's just such a powerful running back, gets a lot of love, gets a lot of yards. So I think that if Carlos Hyde is available in your league, and if Carson's down for even 1 week, he's a priority add this week. I'm going with Carlos Hyde. Justin, no terrible puns, but who are you taking this week off the waiver wire?
Look, man, Scotty Miller. If you don't know that name by now, get familiar. Basically, I didn't get a chance to talk to Tom this week yet. Usually we have a call scheduled on Wednesdays because I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with him and Mike Evans. They need to get it together. But in the meantime, Chris Godwin, he's having finger surgery this week. So somebody else got to catch the ball. Scotty Miller's there. You saw him last week. He exploded. They got over 100 yards receiving, 22 fantasy points. This week, he should definitely be a target because you know how Tom likes the speedster Caucasian receivers. So he's that guy for them. Scotty Miller, man, pick him up.
Is it not PC to say white? Like I'm confused.
You said it. I didn't.
No, I was just trying. You know, I always want to know what's a Caucasian, but I digress. You don't think AB hits into his output after he's back from suspension if he's not suspended for even longer for being wild?
I mean, we'll figure that out in week 9, but we talking about week 8 picks.
Bet.
Ashton, we'll stick with you. Your week 8 waiver wire pick.
So I was going to pick someone on the 49ers and switch it up last minute. And I'm going to stay on the 49ers, though, and I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk. He's rostered in only 27% of ESPN fantasy leagues. He is a receiver that honestly does everything. He just has everything in his toolbox, with everyone on the running back committee being some form of hurt, right? You have Tevin Coleman gone. You have Raheem Mostert on IR. You have Jeff Wilson gone. You just have Haley and Jarrett McKinnon. And Jarrett McKinnon didn't play last week because they were nursing him on a rib injury and kind of load management. So I was initially going to go with Haley, but this dude, Brandon Ayuk, continues to ball, not only as a receiver, but even as an option as a running back. This past week, you saw him go for 6 receptions for 150 yards. And, I mean, the dude is balling. So get at him. That's all I got to say. Get at him. Go and find him if you don't have him.
Yeah. Number one wide receiver option on a team that moves the ball. Never a bad look. Justin's not a fan of that, as he wants Kittle to just keep eating all of the targets, all the receptions. So there it is. Week 8 is right around the corner. Joe, do you have anything else you want to add?
If you want talent on your team to help you win a championship this year, the Trader Joe players are available. Don't cry to me and say, "Oh, bro, you could have got more." Listen, if you want somebody, come and get them. I like to move fast. One of my pet peeves is you talk and then, I don't hear from you for a while, because then I start interpreting it as you're somewhat interested. So if you're interested, come in and be ready. Let's talk business.
Justin?
I guess regular schedule over here.
There you go. Ashton, any closing thoughts?
I'm just trying to make the playoffs, fam. Dang, man.
I hear you loud and clear. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us for our early season episode. When we get back together, we will have 2 guests on to talk matchups of the week. We'll introduce our Coach of the Year rating. We'll probably hit you with some mid-season awards, and we'll start and sit within the Indecision cave.